Hi, for today's teardown, this tachometer, so this one is not from a Soviet aircraft, it is from a Soviet battle tank. So as you can see, it goes up to 1500 turns per minute, so for sure it is not for a jet engine, but it has the same form factor and the same construction than an aircraft tachometer. The model number is written here, TZ-3 it seems. We may have here behind the needle the serial number. So about this paint on the dial on the needle, some people might say you have radium paint, but actually no, despite of the weird color it has, there is no sign of any radium in here. As you can see on my dosimeter, it is not triggering the dosimeter at an insane level, so it is safe. Quite weird paint. So I will take the opportunity of the teardown to clean the inside of the glass and try to reinstall it properly because there is a gap here at the top. So I will try to do it without breaking the glass, is possible. So this instrument came from a cockpit panel of a battle tank. I did scrap. Maybe there is a video about this on my YouTube channel. If I find it, I will link it in the video description. So we have a very nice case here in Hamerton, black Hamerton paint, very thick paint. Seal here. The front piece is die-cast aluminum, it seems, with these nuts in two parts for the screws. They are safe-looking nuts. On the back we have a connector. We have a logo here with what seems to be two crossed swans. We have a date code of 29 January 1979. We have a connector. It is a regular connector for this kind of instruments, the 3-pin connector like so, with this pretty nice connector cover over it in bakelite. Okay, and to take this apart, in fact, we have 6 screws all around. Some of them are more or less loose already, probably because I did already take it apart previously. So you can see there is this ring around that will come off first. This screw had provision for a factory seal with a little cup washer around in the ring here. So this is just coming off an aluminum ring, and here the case, stamped aluminum again with a very nice paint. So here is what we have inside. In fact, it is quite not terribly exciting, just some kind of synchro motor. In fact, probably 3-phase motor of some kind. We will find out. And the back piece, it is interesting to note how it is painted in black. It seems to be a seal, but not. It is just paint. 3 standoffs, the rubber seal here. So in fact, I guess it is a 3-phase motor that will turn synchronously to the generator in the speed pickup generator in the engine, on the engine shaft, picking up the RPM of the engine, and this will turn synchronously on speed like this. And some of you will already have guessed what we have inside here. Of course, we have always the same kind of device with eddy current coupler. So this turned at a certain speed. It has some little magnet, and it will drive this disc in the middle, which seems to be made from copper this time. So when this spins with eddy currents, it will move the disc and it will drive the needle, but as you can see, it needs to turn pretty fast in order to have any effect on the needle. And here there is the mechanism for the zeroing of the indicator when not powered. So probably all these devices in the cockpit were quite noisy, and you can see here they did put some solder to balance the thing probably. And it is in fact all. Most of the parts here are made of brass, quite impressive, and aluminium. Very thick piece here, almost maybe 4 mm thick. And the little motor here in the middle. So actually I should be able to undo this and pop open the back of the motor. But first I am checking what to do with the glass here, because it is not correctly in place. There is some kind of O-ring, of a circlip in fact, around. But usually you can remove them, but not this one is press fit in place, it seems. And I do not want for sure to push too hard on the glass and break it. So all what I will do is clean this glass for now, because it is pretty dirty inside. Like so. Let me grab paper towel. And try to wipe it. So not sure here how the glass managed to be pushed inside without breaking. You can see there is a gap here of at least 1 mm. I clean also the outside. I love when the stuff is clean. Like so. It is better already. Okay. So now let's try to deal with this. Okay, so I need here 7 mm wrench in order to undo these 3 nuts. You can see there is a, excuse me, it was totally out of the frame. There is some kind of red paint over the screws, locking them in place. I will unzoom a little bit so it will be better. Easier to remain in the frame if unzoomed a little bit. Okay, last one. So the hardware is in pretty good condition in this thing, as you can see. So now I must be able to remove this like so. I will reinstall this temporarily in its housing. And yes, it seems we have some kind of motor of some flavor. I see totally regular with motor windings. So 3 little screws remaining. Very hard to remove these ones, naturally. They are much harder than the nuts here. Okay. So the amount of interesting hardware you can retrieve if you scrap such a device is quite amazing, but in fact you do not want to scrap them unless they are in a really bad condition. And yes, as expected, we have, here it comes, a core here, quite a weird one, as you can see, a rotor core, made of 4 discs of probably some kind of steel. Yes, of course it is magnetic. It is kept in place here by a little wire of brass spacer here also, and it is quite weird. It seems it is in 2 parts. As you can see, this part can rotate. It is more or less spring loaded here at the back. It seems like so, yes. In this position it becomes spring loaded. Quite weird. 3 little screws here which are probably the front part of the motor assembly, and here just regular motor windings, very nicely made. Here you can see the core of the motor and the 3 phase going inside. Very nice work, by the way. But this part is quite unusual and interesting. So I see extra screws here. Yes, they are just the screws. In fact, keeping this in place. And you know what? It looks like this piece is separate, and there is a slot in here. So it appears I could, in theory, take it apart further, maybe, if the screws does cooperate, like so. And the front piece with the dial should come off. Like this. It is interesting. I did never take it apart so far, of course. And yes, as expected, this is coming off. You have a better view of the brass or copper disc in here, with the other parts, the zeroing device, which seems to be quite messed up because in fact the needle is touching the screw in here. Maybe it is an alignment problem of some kind. Ah, here is our problem. It looks like the shaft just broke. Quite interesting. I did never touch it and it just break. Quite sad. In fact, it is bent. Not sure what happened here. Okay. So as it is just a display item, I will probably glue the needle back in place or something like so. Let me try to figure out what I can do. First I need to, it is completely bent, in fact, the shaft in the middle here. For some reason, no idea why, but I did not do it myself. It is completely bent on the side. Like this. As you can see, I did not do it. So maybe in fact the needle was already pushed in place, but not connected to the, really connected to the thing, and it is why it did not turn previously when I did try. Quite interesting. So I will probably glue it in some way and it will remain just a display item. As it is quite nice external condition, I do not want to throw this one away. But I am quite surprised of this problem here. So let me figure out what to do and I will be right back. Okay, so I did manage to straighten a little bit the shaft here, but in fact, as you can see, it is again broken at a further point. And I did notice we have an extremely high level of play in this piece. I do not think it is normal. So maybe the instrument is simply worn out, at least for the bearing here. There must be some kind of ruby bearing and it is just worn out. So I will probably glue this needle in place or something like this. Interesting. Or reinstall it without the needle. Should be quite a shame, but anyway the needle is in sad condition. You can see we have black dots here in the paint. So sometimes you can have this kind of surprise when you deal with old stuff. It happens. You're wondering if I can just glue it like so. Or I need to find an extremely small spacer to fit in here. It will probably be quite something. So first I will put back the rest of the instrument together anyway. Okay, so I did notice, now we've removed needle, it seems it is working, because if I turn this, you can notice the front piece will turn and will return at this initial position when this part is slowing down. And probably if we remain at a constant speed, it will remain at the same position. But I am still annoyed with the broken needle. So I need to find a very small piece that will come in here. Okay, so thanks to the magic of video editing and of the start-stop button of my camcorder, I found this in my box of random screws from cameras and such. I found this little brass standoff or ring or whatever you want to call it, that will just fit in the hole here and will just accommodate the shaft of the needle. So I will apply a little bit of glue and it should be all good. So I have some glue here. The most difficult thing will probably be not to put too many glue on the dial itself. So just a little bit of glue at the back. It will be hidden anyway by the shaft in here. And I have to grab the needle and try to. This glue is really a pain because it is always either it is stuck and it will not flow, or either it is flowing too much. So I apply a little bit of glue at the back here. I try to grab it from the top and I try to put it in place and align it more or less with the 0 position. And now we do not touch for at least how many time? 5 minutes, they say. It could be worse. So again I will use some video editing magics. Okay, I am back and it looks like it is a success, at least. So now I just need to reinstall this. Try not to shake the instrument too much, because the glue is maybe not totally dry yet. So it happens when you tinker with old stuff, such unexpected things can happen. Either a screw that we will try to remove and will break in place, or will be completely stuck, or find out a defect on a very fragile part that will break on you without any previous notice. It can happen. The worst is to find dead bugs on or even animals in device. It is quite rare, but it can happen. As long as it is not a black widow, spider or scorpio or anything like this, it is good. So for some reason I for some reason I am not using the correct screw. Maybe it will help if I use the correct size of screw. The needle is still in place, seems good so far. So it is a shame because cosmetically this instrument was in very good condition and we had two flaws, so maybe I was not able to reinstall completely properly the glass. I have a feeling it may break if I push on it too much, so I did not try. But maybe it is in fact linked, the problem of the glass and the problem of the needle. I'm not really sure. So there is no specific position for this thing. All are perfectly symmetrical. If I remember correctly, it was like this with the seal, the factory seal on the right. So I have still almost complete Soviet battle tank panel. I do not remember if I did already do a video about it. The problem is that it is in storage, in a garage, behind a lot of stuff, and it is not easy to reach. But I will try to reach it someday and make a video about it. And I did lose the screw, it is here. So let's try to reassemble this thing. It is not aligned properly, so one more try. Maybe, yes. So now it should be pretty quick. You can see I am using the proper technique for screwing and unscrewing quickly. In fact, you turn the screwdriver by the shaft, not by the handle, and it will save a lot of time. The only thing is it must be easy to turn screws. Okay. Try to tighten them evenly to have the thing at military specifications. And of course, do not forget to reinstall the connector cover on such an expensive piece of equipment. Okay, so at least it looks a little bit better, the glass is not foggy anymore, and the needle is in the correct position almost, and is not loose inside the instrument. So it is almost a success for this unexpected repair. Okay, thanks for watching, bye bye.